There are a lot of classical Chinese-themed games coming out these days, and Celestial Empire is one of them. Does it bring new and interesting twists to the city builder genre, or is it like a bad dubbed 80s kung fu movie that has no plot and weird action? Watch on and find out.
My name is Thoraxe, and this is Strategy for Busy People. If you've got a few minutes, I'll tell you what to play.
City builders can be great fun. I got added to the Celestial Empire playtest and figured that President Studio might like what I had to say about it. So, I put just over 4 hours into their demo to see what it had to offer. First things first. My short playtime is not because there was anything wrong with the game, but rather because the demo has a limited amount of play on offer, and I hit that upper limit. We'll get into the specifics of that shortly. At its core, Celestial Empire is like most city builders you might have played before. You manage housing and utilities to try to keep people happy while taxing them near to death so that you can fund your evil ambitions, or whatever. I'm not saying I do that. No, I definitely do not. If you've played any of the Anno city builders, you'll be familiar with some of the aspects of upgrading housing by meeting the needs of the inhabitants. In Celestial Empire, you have to provide amenities that are more in line with traditional Chinese themes mixed with normal city builder tropes. Your people want food and clothing, but they also want decorations, access to religious shrines, to a market, and more. Ensuring that your peasants have enough allows you to upgrade them to craftspeople, which then come with their own new requirements, like salt, fish, and so forth. If you watched my review of Nebuchadnezzar, you'll remember that I thought the game mechanic of having a person who went out and had a limited service distance was interesting. Celestial Empire doesn't have that exact mechanic, but each building does have a service area that is influenced by the connections that building has to roads. Your warehouse cart people can only reach so far, and the shrine can only service so many. You get the picture. Another interesting mechanic that Celestial Empire adds to the city builder mix is water management. You might now be thinking, Thorax has really lost it. Every city builder has water management. And while that is correct, the specific way in which Celestial Empire handles it is unique. You have to build water pumps, which can only be built at the river edge, and then you have to build canals to bring the water inland. Crop fields must be adjacent to the canal to have their water needs met. And they even considered the terraced nature of traditional rice paddies such that you can feed the lower paddies by supplying water to the upper ones, but you can't feed the upper ones with water only adjacent to the lower ones. Additionally, some of the crafting buildings can have their output improved by supplying them with water to power water wheels. Water pumps can only push water so far, and then you can have these canal pumps that can then push the water further. It seems to me like the interesting non-square shape of many of these production buildings is designed to accommodate these canal pumps next to them, given the respective sizes of each. And designing your cities for optimal canal utilization is an interesting organizational challenge. As with many city builders, there is a tech tree of sorts. And, similar to the new Cycle game I reviewed recently, unlocking different things in that tech tree can require a combination of resources. In the case of Celestial Empire, you have these inventor points that you get with the Inventor's Workshop, and you get more points by covering more of your population with the Inventor's Workshop, just like covering the area with a shrine. On top of that, many of the technologies you unlock have further small unlocks that provide various buffs to things like production, service area, maintenance, etc. In the early game, you don't have a high population, so you don't get a lot of invention points. Choices seem harder. But in the mid-game, it seems like invention points seem really easy to come by, and I pretty much could unlock anything I wanted without much thinking about it. So I just spammed all the small unlocks while I was busy readying myself for the next era. Yes, that's right. Similar to some 4X games, there are major milestone unlocks in Celestial Empire that bring in a host of new technologies and also new requirements. But the truly largest, interesting game mechanic in Celestial Empire has to be the faith system and the three gods. At some point in the early game, you construct an altar which unlocks the 3 patron gods, the dragon thing, the fire lady, and the monkey man. By the way, the show The New Legends of Monkey on Netflix is great. Patron gods. Once you unlock the patrons, you can choose one of them. Aligning to a particular patron gives you a cheaper cost of unlocks for that patron's benefit tree. That's right. Not only do you have the main tech tree, but you have 3 additional unlock trees that you can play with. And these unlock trees use faith points. Now, before you start rolling your eyes and getting ready to hear me complain about too many point systems like I did in my complaints about Millennia, I want you to know that these 2 primary point systems actually work out. Sure, it can be hard to decide just what to do with all these inventions and faith points, but that's mostly a factor of first-timer learning than the systems actually being at fault. The patron gods unlock trees provide benefits that mostly align with the nature, pun intended, of the god. I chose the Monkey Man because I was interested in the production-aligned unlocks, but found that I was also using points to buy things like reduced fire risk and so forth. And on top of being able to buy unlocks from the patron gods, you can also buy miracles and orbs. The miracles are one-time use effects, which can be things like instantaneously quelling a demon attack, which, yes, is a thing in this game. The orbs can be placed in temples, and they provide benefits within the range of the temple's service area. As an example, an orb might reduce the need for rice or increase woodcutter productivity or whatever. The orbs and miracles are randomized and rotate with time, or you can pay some faith points to re-roll them too. Once I started to get a deeper understanding of these various faith-based, not that kind, systems, the game really started to get interesting. But that was also when I hit the next tech milestone and tier and the demo ended. Before I give my final verdict, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share it with your friends. Agree with me, disagree with me, or want to see other content? Let me know in the comments below. Want to try this game yourself? Check out my humble affiliate link below. And if you want to support me in making more of these videos, become a patron on Patreon. Your support really makes a difference. The final verdict. This game has more systems than the average city builder and quite a lot of levers to pull on all of the buildings. I didn't even get truly deep into all the supply chain management things that go on, the disasters, the trade routes, and more. There's an awful lot here to explore, and honestly, it's all really quite well put together. There's this ability for you to hop into first-person mode and to walk around in your city, but honestly, that seems like a gimmick, and I didn't really care for it. On my trademarked 3-point score scale of avoid, meh, and I forgot to eat, there was plenty of rice and plenty of fish, and there was even oxen, but you didn't eat them. You just used their compost. In spite of the myriad point systems, I really enjoyed this game, and I'm looking forward to playing the full thing when it comes out for real. So when the demo cut short, I made my own sake don, which honestly I know is Japanese and isn't really even a typical donburi, but whatever. This is my channel.